Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has said that over 441 people who attended the Tablighi Jamaat congregation have shown signs and symptoms of COVID-19, and more than 1,071 people have now been sent to quarantine.
मरकज में बताया जाता है कि 12-13 मार्च के आसपास देश विदेश से बहुत सारे लोग इकट्ठे हुए किसी धार्मिक फंक्शन के लिए। उस धार्मिक फंक्शन के बाद कई लोग चले गए और काफी लोग रुक गए। अब जब पता चला तो उनमें से उनको पिछले कल से परसों से वहां से निकाला जा रहा है। वहां पे जितने भी लोग निकाले गए हैं उसमें जैसा मैंने बताया अभी जो टेस्ट्स के कुछ रिजल्ट्स आए हैं, काफी रिजल्ट्स आने बाकी हैं। 24 लोग पॉजिटिव केसेस मिले हैं। उनमें 441 लोग ऐसे हैं, अभी तक 1548 लोगों को मरकज से निकाला जा चुका है। उन 1548 में से 441 सिम्टोमेटिक थे, मतलब उनमें सिम्टम्स थे, किसी को खांसी थी, किसी को बुखार था, इस तरह के सिम्टम्स थे, कोरोना के सिम्टम्स थे। उन 441 को अस्पतालों में पहुंचा दिया गया है। उनके सबके टेस्ट हो रहे हैं। इसके अलावा 1107 केसेस उनको क्वारंटाइन के लिए भेज दिया गया। इनमें सिम्टम्स नहीं थे, इनको क्वारंटाइन के लिए भेज दिया गया है।
At a time when most of the mosques across the world have shut their doors on congregations, Tablighi Jamaat insists on keeping their doors open, believing that a collective prayer is the need of the hour. Instead, Tablighi Jamaat has emerged as the new virus hotspot, not only in India, but in South Asia. WION's principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal and my colleague Ishan Wani is joining us live. Siddhant is reporting from New Delhi, Ishan Wani from Kashmir. Siddhant, coming to you first. We heard Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal mentioning how he's afraid of the spread of the coronavirus in India simply because of the thousands of people who attended this congregation in the national capital. What's the latest you're picking up about the measures being taken to identify the people who've attended that congregation and to track their travel and contact history?
Well, yes, the focus right now is on the Nizamuddin hotspots. These hotspots are emerging across the country, whether in Punjab, Rajasthan or Maharashtra, but focus right now on what happened in the Nizamuddin area of Delhi. I was there and I can tell you something, that the focus of the government is on surveillance on the lines of South Korea. Remember, the same thing happened in South Korea. Mysterious cult was responsible for the outbreak across the country. Patient number 31 in South Korea, and later on the government there also sued the entire organization, the cult there in South Korea. Now on the lines of South Korea, the Indian government, the authorities here are now doing screening there. They are using drones to make sure they do screening of people, and the people have been evacuated. Approximately 1,500 of these people have been evacuated. 1,100 of these people have been put into quarantine facilities located in Narela, in Sultanpuri and other areas. There are, of course, approximately 400 people who are showing symptoms of COVID and 24 people who have been confirmed with COVID. I can tell you that number of cases in Delhi right now stand at 97, of which a substantial are attributed to the Tablighi Jamaat congregation, which happened in early days of March. 94 of the 97 people, approximately 24 people are from this congregation, and now the authorities are trying to trace these people across the country, because number of deaths, whether it is in the southern state of Telangana or in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, are now linked to this congregation.
Absolutely. At a time when temples, gurudwaras, mosques across the country have shut their doors, it remains a wonder how Tablighi Jamaat was able to hold this congregation and has become a super spreader, a hotspot of real concern as far as India is concerned. Meanwhile, my colleague Ishan Wani joins us from Jammu and Kashmir. Ishan, we know that there are cases in Jammu and Kashmir as well linked to this congregation in Delhi. What details can you tell us?
Well, absolutely right. The first death, in fact, was of a person who attended this Tablighi Jamaat in Delhi. And that was pretty much clear that in his report that he had a travel history and he had met people from Indonesia and Malaysia where he was part of this congregation. The question that arises is that when this death happened a couple of days back, did the administration really ponder upon that there are still people? Did they check the area around Nizamuddin, whether there are people inside still? Because after his death, it was very much clear that he had contacts with these foreign people who are coming to these Tablighi Jamaats, these congregations. But apart from him, there are other people who he has contacted. Several of them are now in different hospitals across the Kashmir Valley. This includes people from North Kashmir and South Kashmir who have come in contact with this man who has now died because of the coronavirus. Now, the majority of the cases are coming out are his and the first lady that was infected by the coronavirus. Now, people are being asked to stay precautious and caution should be maintained. But at the same time, top sources have told us that around 800 people from the Jammu and Kashmir had attended these congregations in New Delhi and different parts of India. So that is why they are trying to contact them and keep them under surveillance. Apart from this, we are also told that 65 people are still from Jammu and Kashmir are in New Delhi. The list has been shared with the government and they are not trying to figure out what to do with these people. They are also telling people that all those people who attended these congregations should report to the administration because it becomes difficult for them to track their details and track them down from their houses. Several people, the police has gone to several houses and asked about the person who has traveled or had their travel history. The police is also now using mechanisms like tracking down their ATM details if they have made transactions in the Delhi and around Nizamuddin to track them down so that they could not harm anybody else. But several contacts of these persons, the first person who died of the COVID death was in Tablighi Jamaat, and that is when the administration was alerted, and that is when the administration should have geared up and shown some symptoms that they could go and seal that particular area in New Delhi.
Right. Siddhant, one final question to you. India recorded the highest spike in the last 24 hours with over 200 cases. As far as this congregation is concerned, 400 people are now showing symptoms. So that remains a huge cause of concern as far as India's battle against the coronavirus is concerned.
Well, yes, situation remains precarious. It remains dangerous. And one thing I can tell you that the numbers haven't been updated since last evening. And when they will be updated, do expect another spike as well, because we have seen how the numbers have simply exploded from just a few cases in the first week of March, approximately 3 cases to over 1,000 cases in India. Today is the last day of March, and we have seen how the numbers have exploded, especially in last 1 week. We know the government has announced measures. In fact, the Indian government was one of the first global governments to announce measures even before WHO declared it as a pandemic. And even as we speak, more and more measures are being put in place, especially when it comes to lockdown, because lockdown is something that the Indian government hopes will slow the chain of the spread of this virus. Also, the Indian government is sourcing medical assistance from world over, from China, from South Korea, from Vietnam, Turkey and Singapore. India will be getting approximately 10,000 ventilators from China, which has been on record confirmed by the Indian government, and also will be getting personal protection kits from 2 countries, South Korea and Singapore. WION was the first channel to break this story that India is going to procure from South Korea personal protection kits just a week ago, and finally it has been now confirmed by the Indian government.
Right. Siddhant, Sibbal and Ishan Wani, thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast and giving us all the updates on that super spreader and hotspot that has emerged in Delhi. And we are still awaiting the